My role on the campus is that I look after school education and recreation programs. So what we do in the after school recreation and educational program is a mix of activities for the lads on the campus, to keep them occupied, keep them motivated, keep them interested. We'll really cater for anything that the young person on the campus wants to do. We have a long associated partnership with Goshka on the campus, and we have regular meetings throughout the year, looking at projects that we'll be doing, looking at where lads are at in relation to their awards, whether they're going for gold, silver or bronze. Recently, we've had a gold award on the campus. One of the young people on the campus completed a number of murals in the last phase of his gold, and we had a visit from the president to present his gold medal to him. The Goshka representatives on campus said the quality of the artwork here is really spectacular. Did you ever consider going to exhibition?
The activities that take place in Oberstown suit the Goshka Award so well. Because they're engaging in school, there's the possibility of the artwork, and as we know, that's the magic of what's happening with this relationship, is the artwork that's been used for the Goshka Award has a double use with regards to the exhibition. So it's a win-win really for all of us. The collaboration with the Irish Museum of Modern Art is perfect because it facilitates the sharing of that art beyond the walls of Oberstown.
So Avril Ryan, who works with Goshka, the President's Awards, approached me and showed me the work that the young men are making at the moment in their classroom, and that was the work that was presented by them for their Goshka, for the President's Award. So we were really interested in how we would connect with the content in that work, the stories in that work, to the museum's collection.
The SPICE project is an EU research project that is developing methods and tools of citizen curation. Citizen curation is like citizen journalism or citizen science, in that it's trying to take a certain practice, which is selecting and interpreting artworks, bringing communities that are underrepresented at IMMA and giving them a chance to organise and express their perspectives through IMMA's collection. So we wanted to bring the young people and their paintings into dialogue with the IMMA collection. And we did that by giving the young people an opportunity to look at and explore the IMMA collection, which is a national collection. And they selected works that corresponded to their own paintings and their own interests. And by putting them together, we hope to really create something very empowering for them as participants, but also meaningful for visitors who can see their work alongside established Irish artists.
In Oberstown, what I do is encourage the guys to be artists and to actually join in on the project and get something out of it that means something to them. We approach the theme of where we are, where we live and where we're from, kind of the idea of identity, and we tried to come up with an image that actually brought out the identity of the individual, and we tied that to the fact that it's an Irish theme ultimately. So it's something unique about this country that is uniquely attached to one of the guys. So one guy it's fishing, another guy it's his family, another guy it's the fantasy games. It could be a number of things all came together in this project that are unique to each individual. That then led into a selection of images, and from the images we then brought them into Photoshop, and we were able to adapt them so that they could be suitable for paintings, become a composition and not merely just a copy of a place from Google Maps. On the theme of something uniquely belonging to that lad, what we did was we picked a place from his memory that was special to him, and we found that by Googling maps online, and we came across this place. And as soon as we saw it, we knew this is the thing he was going to paint, because he had a very strong association with it. He remembers jumping off that bridge. So it was one of those ideas that came in real fast, very obvious and very unique. So it just landed, and he was as happy as Larry with that, and we were delighted that he had hit something really good as well. This particular painting here relates to the boy's grandfather, great-grandfather, who served in the First World War, and he wanted an image that showed him in action, and we found an image that he felt appropriately showed the sort of action he was involved with and the environment. He collaged together different elements to create an overall dynamic image of a battle scene. The other piece is another historical piece. It's the only car ever made in Ireland from his home county, as it happens. And the lad that did this, he's really interested in mechanical details and shiny surfaces, and he did a fantastic job of presenting that. This aspiring artist, he had been working in 3D modelling a lot for his projects, which he had learned how to create within Blender, which is a 3D modelling program. The idea was that he wanted to take a place in Ireland that had a kind of a link with fantasy, and so he chose an ancient monastery type of setting, and then he contained that within a bottle as if it was something really special, or something that might sit on a wizard's desk or something. It embodied to him the whole specialness of both fantasy and history interwoven together. Really given something of a problem was to try and maybe come up with something that embodied the idea of 1922 and the civil war that took place in Ireland. The two leading protagonists in that history were competing against each other, as how he saw it. So in a sense, it's like a game again. There was a very distinct place associated with Michael Collins and Eamon de Valera, and that was the assassination, where the assassination took place of Michael Collins. And so he decided he would feature the game taking place in the bar that was near Bale the Blaw, where they say the plot took place to kill Collins.
Okay, so the piece behind me, I might talk about, he knew from the get-go that he wanted to do a piece, something to do with Dublin. He loves landscapes, and then we got a picture of a figure, and then we edited in a nice sky. He's quite interested in landscapes anyway. Normally he'd paint a lot of landscape work, and we get lovely sunsets outside in Oberstown here. We got a good view from the art room, so he picked a specific colour sky that he liked, and he wanted to put that in the piece. So we had another piece of a lake and a man fishing. Straight away he said, I want something that's really colourful, happy. So we just went through different ideas, and he said, I want to do a lake, fishing. He likes to do fishing as a pastime. A third one we have is a lovely wagon with a horse. This piece is a tribute to his grandmother. He's never been on a wagon himself, but his grandmother would have, so he's fond memories talking with her about that. And a lot of the detail in the wagon can symbolise a lot and tell a story. So we've had a lot of conversations and learned a bit as we were making the piece about what these wagons mean and what they represent. Has been both interesting for myself as well as an artist and the student involved.
There was one guy who was doing an awful lot of painting and was eager to get going on one of the larger pieces. Just going back and looking at the other lad's stuff, he really liked one of the other guys had started the wagon. This guy is part of the Irish travelling community, so he wanted to symbolise that in the painting. So what better way to do it than two strong horses? As it started to emerge, he was looking at different sceneries. He was thinking maybe mountains, but then he wanted an Irish sky, and then he wanted it to be kind of stormy. So to bring in craft, he brought in embroidery. He ended up calling this painting a ride after the storm. So he was saying like maybe it's to do with like the turbulent time of coming in here, and you know, if you're to read into it, but it's after the storm, so the storm is kind of passing behind, and it's kind of all settled now. They're coming home.
So the lad that I worked with, he came up with the idea for his painting that he wanted to work along the themes of recycling. We looked up images that kind of related to him along the lines of recycling, so we looked at landfills, and he also had other images that he researched of. One of them in particular was crushed cans. He liked that idea, and I was asking, what kind of cans would you drink out of now? And he was like, oh, Monster cans, Red Bull cans, and I was kind of thinking, Red Bull cans would look really cool here. So we used that, and we kind of had an image in the background of a landfill, and overlapping that is a massive crushed can. And I think in comparison to some of the other paintings, it's kind of like the odd one out, but in a good way. It's very abstract and surreal.
A project like this is extremely important because it potentially is life-changing for the lads. That's been my experience.
And to see the paintings progress from a drawing to a painting to a finished painting that could go to an exhibition, it was just absolutely amazing watching it. Like,
and these are young guys that have put this together, and it really shows the sort of vision that they're capable of if they're given a chance to show it.
I think that it was really instructive for me to see that people who, let's face it, are extremely underrepresented, even marginalised from cultural spaces, could take an active part in creating an exhibition.
And particularly marginalised young people, and that's certainly something that the President, President Michael D. Higgins, who is our patron, very much encourages and wants to see young people from all parts of society getting their Goshka awards, and it's really important for us. And having this sort of three-way partnership with the Irish Museum of Modern Art in Oberstown and Goshka is brilliant, because it's going to amplify that opportunity for those young people.
Every Irish citizen, regardless of where they're working, where they're living, has a right to access the national cultural institutions, and we treat everybody equally.
watching them being excited about their paintings going into an exhibition, being excited and putting the hours of work into it. Like, they were doing 3 classes a day over the course of 6 to 8 months to get their work completed.
They had a lot of things to say. They had a lot of valuable perspectives on IMMA's collection, on art, on painting, on the world.
At certain times, like, I'd just step away and he was just working away himself, and I was kind of like shocked, because I was like, wow, like, that's amazing that he doesn't even need me there. I'm just kind of like his assistant at this point.